Woo! Yeah, boy.
Shiddly diddly whoa.
Shiddly diddly diddly.
Shiddly diddly Whyte.
Shiddly diddly Whyte has beat up Joseph Parker. Literally bullied him. Now, the only place to start is that KangJnr over here.
What's happening? What's happening?
He got a lot of stick. People were digging him out on the last video.
How's it New Zealand?
Because he called it 70-30 to Dillian Whyte. Now, even for me, I'm a massive Dillian Whyte fan, but even now I was like, phew, that's pushing it. Like, I think Dillian Whyte's going to win, but that's pushing it. So, I'll let you have your say because, boy, people said, yeah, well, you got it. I'll give you to that one. You got that one. 70-30 to Dillian Whyte, and it was 70-30. Up until, obviously, the 12th round, the badness that happened, but Dillian Whyte was bossing it. You said that Dillian Whyte is a brute, and he's going to be too strong, he's going to bring it to him, and that's exactly what happened. By the 4th round, Parker was blowing. He was blowing hard. And I was thinking, whoa, I didn't expect that. Obviously, the weight made a huge difference, but that's how you called it.
Yeah, so basically that's what I was going to say. Like, obviously welcome, to KangBrosTV, and, this was always going to be the one that we wanted to talk about big time because I called it. Again, all the comments that were left and everyone telling me, oh yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. Listen, I told you exactly how I saw this fight going, and it was going to be that Dillian Whyte is just a bigger guy. 18 stone 6, I think he was, something like that. So that weight, and then like look at the size of him, the muscle mass. I mean, don't get me wrong, you look at Anthony Joshua and you look at Dillian Whyte, you still be like, yeah, Anthony Joshua's got a better rig, which is fair. But Dillian Whyte's in shape. He's from what he has been in the past, and he's a big dude. All that weight on you, you try and keep that weight off you. He was just literally walking him down, weight on him, all that sort of stuff. It takes it out of you. And Joseph Parker was always going to stand and trade. They were going to stand and trade. That's what was going to happen. You have to trade with Dillian Whyte because he's in your face the whole time. And that's against Joshua as well. Joshua didn't want to have that fight with Dillian Whyte, but he had to because that's how Whyte fights. And Dillian Whyte, everyone says, like, again, a lot of the comments were like, oh, you know what you're talking about, you know what you're talking about Josh, Parker's chin, he's never been down. But he's never fought Dillian Whyte. He's never fought a Dillian Whyte. This guy's a street fighter.
It's so unorthodox.
He's there to fight. He's not here to mess about, he wants to fight. He's not here to run around for 12 rounds. Helenius, right, that fight against Helenius, everyone discredits that performance. Helenius did not come to fight in that game, and Dillian Whyte still put it on him.
Dillian Whyte always finds a way. That's what I'm going to say. He always finds a way. He doesn't look nice on the eye. Let's be honest. Like when sometimes he throws a punch and he's got his full body committed and he's falling over all the time. So on the eye, you think, you know what? This guy doesn't actually look like a good boxer.
But to jump in there again, yesterday Dillian Whyte, I think he out-jabbed Parker yesterday.
Yeah,
I thought he out-jabbed Parker.
Definitely.
So then you can't turn around and say, oh yeah, he doesn't look great. Yeah, I know sometimes he throws himself off, but look at Deontay Wilder. He does exactly the same shit. He does the same stuff. Throws himself off his feet. Listen, Dillian Whyte has come on so much as a fighter, and listen, that shot that Parker took, that's what I was turning around and say, listen, respect.
Oh, yeah.
Because people would have been asleep. Many people would have been asleep after that. I actually said to you that I reckon that if Joshua took that shot,
ready to go night.
Night. Say it with your chest.
Yeah, because even that punch, like you said, you didn't see it coming. And his eyes rolled top of his head, but the guy got up as if it was like a flash knockdown, like it was a flash hit. He just got back up again. So full credit to Parker. He has got a solid chin, and that guy can take a bang.
And now I'll put it out there to all the Parker fans. I said it before, I said it again. Told you. I told you this was going to happen. Say something to me now because I'd love to hear from you. What was it? Was it a fluke? Look, they talk about the camp afterwards. Talking about, oh yeah, Joseph Parker's the head back. It confused him. He was a bit, It was an excuse that Parker didn't want to stand by. He was like, listen, there's no excuses. There's no excuses. He goes, the better man won the fight, which he did. He outworked him. He put him into positions he didn't want to be in, and that just weighing him down, just having that so much size on him, trying to take that size off of you, it takes its toll. And Dillian Whyte, my G.
He absolutely smashed it. I think people need to give him some respect now. There's too many people who always doubt him. They always say, Dillian Whyte's not quite there. How many times do you want him to prove you wrong? Like in this fight, he actually showed so much experience of what he's learned. Like you said about using his weight and putting him down. This is shit that Klitschko, people like Lennox Lewis, all these kind of dudes used to do. They all to give him credit for it, and he was using it. Even his knockdown or knockout against Anthony Joshua, he said it at the end of the fight. He learned from that. He tried to get up straight away, and then he just couldn't even finish the fight, right? This time, he took his count, he looked over the corner, I don't know who, one of his brothers or this corner, he said to him, basically, how much time have I got left? He took the orders, and then he grabbed him to the ropes for dear life. Now, that's what you got to do sometimes. And that's what he did. And I think there was people watching it shout and scream at the screen, screaming at the screen. It was, like, at the end, really hard to watch. You think he might have fucked it up. But, once again, he'll learn from this, because he should never, that's one thing I will say to Dillian Whyte, if he's ever watching this, it's probably easier for me to say, and I'm thinking his corner should have said something, is that he should not got into that situation in the 12th round. He had the fight won. It was by a good 4 or 5 rounds. So he didn't need to get into that situation. He should have just boxed from his distance, kept his jab going, because Parker was wasted. So that's the only thing.
I just think, I mean, you're right. And again, it is experience that he will learn from.
Yeah.
But I think it's more, that's how he fights. That's how he's going to fight. He literally, I think he backs himself to hit people and hurt people. I think his mentality is, whatever you throw to me isn't going to hurt me as much as what I'm going to throw is going to hurt you. And fair play to Parker, because he still put me down in the 12th. Yeah. And I know there was the stuff afterwards saying, oh yeah, if there was another minute of a fight, whatever. But then again, you know, it shoulda, woulda, coulda, innit?
Exactly.
So that's all, hindsight's a beautiful thing. But Dillian Whyte, listen, I say it again, listen, Deontay Wilder, he shook. Deontay Wilder is literally like, well, I don't need this fight.
Before we get into the next fight, yeah, but like you said, the question that we want to ask is to Parker fans. So what are you saying now about Parker? He's very young and he will learn from this. This is a great experience for him to have at a young age. So by a few years' time, it's going to be sick to have this on the CV. But don't forget, the likes of Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte are still going to be around for a while yet. Do you know what I mean? So for Joseph Parker, what does this mean? Is it that he's not at that level now? Or do you think he is at that level? Do you think he is world level? Where does he go from here? Because people are saying he's a warrior, he's going to come out and do this and that. He didn't. Let's be honest. In the whole of the fight, his body language looked like he didn't even want to be there. Now,
I know he had a new conditioner, and I know that it was everything. They trained differently. This camp wasn't as long. I get all that, but Dillian Whyte was exactly the same. But Dillian Whyte came into this fight with that hunger, and I think it may be because it's like he wants that world champion. He wants to be world champion, whereas Parker's probably like, I've been world champion, and that hunger is there, but it's more, I suppose, more secure in your financial status. I don't know, but for New Zealand fans that were saying that people don't know about Parker, just on Dillian Whyte because he's English or British. Listen, Dillian Whyte banged your boy, innit? He actually banged your boy. That's what I'm going to say. So say something now, because your boy got banged.
Yeah,
got beat up.
He did. He
got beat up, got dashed about.
It's simple as that. For the whole fight, he was bossing it, and it never looked like he was even getting the knockdown that he did. But like I said, full respect to Joseph Parker and his coach. Got enough time for those two. Forget Higgins, but for them two, I've got enough time for them. And he's won over the England fans, and I think we would love to see more of him,
yeah,
right?
Of
he's a good dude. But like we said to the Parker fans, you all said that he's better in all departments, and we don't know what we're talking about. That's the beautiful thing about boxing. It's a beautiful thing about heavyweight boxing, especially. You just can't predict it. And that's, everyone has their opinion, so you can't come here and start saying you don't know about boxing. People are saying, oh, I've done so much in boxing, I've won so much in boxing, he's going to win in the 8th round. Never been. It was never happening. So I'd love to hear from the Parker fans now. And obviously, like I predicted to be 50-50 even, and it was nowhere near that. So you was right on that. So the next question is, what's next for Dillian Whyte? So you go on to now about you saying about Wilder.
Listen, Deontay Wilder, you almost feel sympathy for Dillian Whyte, because even after the fight, they asked him, he's like that. In the press conference, he went,
yeah,
because it's like, what else can I do? He took this fight. This is the toughest fight out there at the moment for a non-title fight. This is the toughest one.
Yeah.
To fight someone who was the champion, right? This is a tough fight. Now, for someone like Dillian Whyte to turn around and say, I'll take that fight, that's when you know, yeah, respect. He's a soldier. So Deontay Wilder's probably thinking, I don't need that fight. I don't have to take that fight, and I won't take that fight. He's going to say, Anthony Joshua and Wilder have to fight. Right? They have to fight. Because if they don't fight each other, they have to fight this mate. And that is probably a tougher fight than it is fighting those two. Deontay Wilder, for example, he's similar to Dillian Whyte because he comes from weird angles and stuff like that. But Dillian Whyte, right, you're fighting somebody who does the same as you, who will literally throw himself off his feet. Imagine that. It won't be the prettiest thing, but when them shots land, that's where that is where I'd be like, I don't know, because I know obviously Wilder bangs, we know that. But Dillian Whyte's proved that he's put somebody down that's never been down in his career, down. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and he banged, it was a bang, wasn't it? So for me, the next fight should be someone like he should probably go to the States and fight Jerry Miller, Big Baby Miller, just for his status, just so he could raise his profile. That's what I'd say, because he's proven that he doesn't care who he fights. He actually doesn't care, because he's like, I reckon he believes he's world level. The only two people with the belts are those two. So everybody else aside of that is just a fight you take. Fight Jarrell Miller and build up your profile in the States. It is a risky fight, but I don't think Jarrell Miller's better than Dillian Whyte at all. No. I think Jarrell Miller's actually dead in comparison to Dillian Whyte. So I'd be saying go take that route. For Parker, I'd say go and fight Chisora. I'd say fight Chisora. Everyone in the UK knows you, and I reckon he bangs Chisora. I reckon he beats Chisora because Chisora knows. I think he's found his level. He knows what his level is. He's good. He's the best of the rest, but he's not quite elite level. And I'd say if Parker wants to be, he's beaten Hughie Fury, so who's the British champion or whatever. Chisora's at that level again because he's just had a really good win. That makes Parker, who's just lost against two top fighters, to say right, if he beats him, he stays in that mold. So I'd say that's what my sort of thought process for the two of them would be.
Yeah, I agree. I think I can't disagree with anything there. That all makes sense because if the Joshua and Wilder fight is happening, he has to stay busy. Tyson Fury isn't there, but I don't think he's ready for that fight yet.
No, but he's not. He knows. Tyson Fury knows his own path. I know he's going to make a lot of noise, but that's because he's building his profile back up. But he's had one fight, and it was a dead fight. He's got another fight coming up, which will probably be a straightforward win again. And then maybe he's got to think about fighting someone like, probably like a Price, who's just to profile back up, or Belly. That's what he's got to fight, to have a big fight to then say, right, okay, I can now take on those heavyweights again, I think. Yeah,
I think Belly's made it clear that he's going to fight Usyk. I think it looks like that's going to happen next.
All I'm saying is, Tony,
so
careful, mate. Careful, mate.
So you touched on Chisora. The donkey has baffled me. He turned into a stallion yesterday. It was almost like a Shrek moment. The donkey turns into a stallion and that. The noble steed and that. That's what happened yesterday.
He's a noble steed.
Because, boy, I did not see that. I don't think nobody saw it coming. Not even Chisora saw that coming. The way he ran up onto the ropes like this. And then Takam, he went up to Takam at the end of the fight. Takam's like this. Like, what the hell? I just lost to you. Yeah. I just lost to you. That's what happened. But look, yesterday, people might boo Eddie Hearn and all this kind of stuff, but that's entertainment. That's what you pay for. Those fights yesterday were mad. And the fact that Chisora come through like that and the way he finished Takam, what can you say about the guy?
Respect, donkey.
That's it. I got good respect to the donkey. Do you know what I mean? Or the stallion, whatever you want to call him now. Because, boy, no one expected that and no one see that coming. The way he finished it was amazing. He proved a point that he can still mix it with some of the best. Like, this is the same guy that fought with people like David Haye, with Klitschko, all these mans them, right? And they're finished, pretty much, right? I don't think if David Haye could have dealt with what Takam was delivering. The pace of that fight was phenomenal from very first round to go at that level and keep going and then to generate that power so late on in the fight was incredible. And he was waiting on the corner of the ring, right, trying to get his moment because he's deserved it.
But again, it's like for Dillian Whyte, he knows that was a tear-up. But for him, it's like, well, that's done. That chapter's done now because he's got to go for that world title. She's always had those opportunities and failed. Yeah. Whereas Dillian Whyte hasn't even been given the opportunities. I mean, obviously he fought AJ, but obviously a lot of things have changed since then. So I think for Chisora, he's probably just sort of hoping that he fights. Dillian Whyte wants to fight me because it's a big payday for him. But I think he's got to forget that. He's got to forget Dillian Whyte because Dillian Whyte's on another journey.
Exactly.
But Chisora needs to, there's possibilities for some big money for him. If he keeps putting in performances like that. It's a shame it takes so long and so late in people's careers for them to really sort of like understand how good they could and should have been. But fair play to him. What a performance. Tough fighter it was up against, and he's putting a performance like that, which shows that, like you say, there's Eddie Hearn's probably licking his lips thinking, decent. I've signed him back up at a good time. So the
thing is that with Chisora, the guy is hard to finish off. If you look at all the fights that he's done before, he's durable.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't be surprised if you see him fight Tyson Fury again.
Yeah, I think that will happen. Definitely, that's definitely the mix. And I think the one that makes sense right now, like you said, is the fight with Joseph Parker. Yeah, because he's big in England now, Parker, and people see what he's about, and Chisora what he just did, and the whole fans were buzzing. Literally, they're all shouting, screaming his name, and that.
It's good, and it's nice. It's nice to see that. So yeah.
I mean, that was great from Chisora. So we have to give him his props for that. I'm not his biggest fan, but massive props.
He's entertaining. Yeah, he's entertaining.
That's it. So a quick shout outs to some of the victories yesterday as well. I mean, Anthony Fowler got an amazing knockdown.
Our boy Andy, enough respect for Andy Fowler, man. He shows love as well. So buzzing for him. And I tell you what, he's looking in nick. He's looking in nick.
Man's got some next level six pack. I don't know. The guy is always like running, doing madness training. So I mean,
Bruv, his abs have got abs, bro.
other sides of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great victory for him. Conor Ben came through for his rematch. A lot of questions around his first performance and win against that opponent. So he did really well there. Come through nicely. Buatsi.
Hey.
Jeez.
He's on a movement, boy. Buatsi's on a movement.
Yeah, he is, man. First round knockout. He looked very good again. And I think the future is looking very, very bright for him. And he's a very down-to-earth guy.
He is.
Very, very
and again,
down-to-earth.
Eddie Hearn is probably thinking to himself, yes.
Katie Taylor, yeah. Oh my God.
I actually reckon she will bang some mans.
Easy work. Seriously, I'm not even joking. The way she delivers those punches, yeah. I felt sorry for the opponent. Like her head movement was whack, yeah. But she still lasted for a while. But she's like,
yeah, man. Katie Taylor will bang some mans. I bet there's certain mans who are watching in there. Oh.
God
damn. She digs like a dude.
Yeah, seriously, man. And I think like they said they're gonna have to push it up the weights because
maybe push up into the men's. You have to, bro.
Just move into the men's, mate. Just put it into like I don't even know what.
It's like watching her in fights in boxing is like watching Serena Williams play tennis. Oh, yeah. Do you know how she the power she generates?
Bullies.
It just bullies people. That's what it's like. And it almost makes like it's not fair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you watch it and you're thinking like when you see shots in it and you can't help but go like that.
Oh, it is like that. It's so good, right? I mean,
so good. That. I mean, it's brutal, but
no, but her boxing skills are unbelievable. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And her foot movement and everything is just fantastic to watch.
And the biggest shout out's got to be the main man, innit?
The White Rhino.
Yes, Dave. Yes,
Dave Allen, man. I mean, everyone loves this guy. He gives enough time to everybody, and for him to come through the way he did, that big ass bomb, the way he knocked Matey down, I think. The guy's been through a lot. Everyone knows his story,
and it's the emotion. You know, like obviously the guy's close to tears, and
yesterday,
in tears
apparently yesterday it was like if you lost, he was gonna call it a day.
Yeah. And he said, I think he came into his dressing room, didn't he? Nigel Benn, saying like, you know, he goes, I don't know if it's for me, and he said like, make it for you, make boxing for you, and like, he's like. So he's like the sort of person that you like. You know, for example, when you watch Love Island, right? I mean, yeah, I watch Love Island, but you know that matey Jack, innit? You like, I want to go for a beer with him because he's funny, and like, you know, I think I'll get on with him. It's just like Dave Allen. You look at him, you think, you know what? Every time he gives an interview, and I watch it, I'm like, I feel like he's talking to me, and like I can have a chat with him. It's so nice. It's really happy for him, and hopefully he can go on and you know, at least, you know, get, you know, some domestic success and you know, maybe like international honours and stuff like that. So really pleased for him.
So let's wrap this video up. A great victory for our boy Dillian Whyte. Big up to Dillian Whyte. So let us know what your opinion was on the fight. What's next for Joseph Parker? Where does he go from here? Is he still the real deal? Can he mix it with the elite? Or is he now in that sort of bracket that we say, like the likes of Chisora?
Journeyman.
Well, I don't want to say journeyman because there are some decent fighters in there that are still doing their journey.
Yeah, but you know, that's what I'm saying.
Gatekeeper kind of thing.
Gatekeeper. I mean, is that him? Is that his level?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'd love to hear, as I said, I'd love to hear from all the people that you know, had a lot to say about my opinions and my analysis of what I thought the fight was going to be, my predictions. I'm spot on. I was spot on again. Hello?
Yeah, you was.
I want to hear it. And like I said, it's not. This is the reason we do this, because we have opinions and stuff.
That's it.
But it'd be great to hear from people and to see if you think that it was a fluke, or do you think it was just a bad days at the office, or do you actually think that, you know, we were right about Dillian Whyte? Big up Dillian Whyte, though. Respect.
Yeah. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and definitely comment as well. Peace out, people.